Whatever.
Hello.
Hey guys.
Hello.
So I shared my
Hi.
screen. Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so basically what I am just, I got a bunch of orders entered this morning. So right now I'm just going through people that left. We still monitor their emails, and I'm basically just going through those emails to see if there's anything I need to hang on to or forward to anybody. But um, you'll see this come up sometimes in your emails. It's Proof Point Essentials. What it does, it's a program we have that pulls emails that it thinks is spam or could be dangerous, and sends you this email itself saying, hey, we got these emails. We don't think, you should open them, or we don't think they're good, or we think they're spam. If you want us, there is a way you can see where it says action, that you can release and approve it or release it or whatever. Like all these obviously are spam that are on here. So it lets us just delete them and get rid of them. And so I get these, we all get them. So once you start getting emails in, you all will probably get them too. And I go back to my emails as I'm working, even as I'm entering purchase orders. I know there's some people try and do it so they go, okay, for the next 2 hours, all I'm going to do is enter quotes or enter orders. I don't feel like that works for me. So I do things, I enter orders, I enter quotes as they come up. I pull things aside that I need more time on, and then I keep going through emails. So what I've got on my emails now that I haven't looked at is, this is Juana. She runs our digital presses. She is sending out an art proof to one of our customers. And this is actually the proof right here. And this is our standard form that we send proofs out on. Down here at the bottom, it gives the size, the part number, the materials, the inks, the job number, and then they'll put notes in red if it's something they want them to look at, especially. If the customer approves it, about half the time they'll sign in this blue box right here, approved, or reproof, here's a change we want you to make, but once you make the change, you can go ahead and do it, or rejected, here's the change, send a new proof kind of thing, and then they'll sign it. I'd say the majority of the time, people just send you an email back saying, yeah, it's good, it's approved, go ahead and print it. And that's fine. We just save that email and attach it to the order. And that's our authorization to move ahead with it. So in this one in particular, we didn't have a drawing, which is highly unusual. We almost always have a drawing of some kind. But this guy was kind of pulling from a couple parts he already had to make a new part. So his email kind of was, here, take this from this one and this from this one and all this. So that's kind of why WANA, and the people that create the art proofs do send them out directly to our customers, and they include us in them in the email. We have our art department. We have several artists. They can send it out, or they can send it to one of their supervisors if they want them to review it. Maybe it's something that was a little more difficult. So they want them to review it, and then the supervisor will send it out. And it'll come from an email. You may see an email that's art approvals. And if it comes from art approvals, then the return email from the customer needs to go back to art approvals. And that's something that you need to watch, because sometimes when they see your name on there, they'll just send it just directly to you and say, yeah, this is approved, or no, we want to make this change, or whatever. So you have to make sure that whatever the information is, it gets sent to art approvals. And you're welcome to say, hey, that's great, I'll pass this along to our art department or whatever. That's totally fine. But we just need to make sure that the art approvals gets it. Whatever email it came from is who it needs to go back to. In this case, WANA, like I said, she runs our digital presses. She is not actually in the art room. She is in with all of our digital presses. She does all the art proofs for them. So this I need to make sure when this goes back, it goes back, that WANA gets a copy of it. And sometimes they send it back to the right people, and sometimes they just send it to me and then I forward it. And that's, again, it's all fine as long as we make sure it gets back to the person who needs it, who needs to get it, because then they can move the order forward. Our art department and WANA, they send out the art proof. If they don't hear back, and it could be 24 hours and they don't hear back, they follow up a first time. Again, they don't hear back, they follow up a second time. We ask that they at least wait 24 hours in between their follow-ups, and they're not following up an hour later, because sometimes it takes a while for our customers to look at these. But once they have followed up twice after they sent it and they have gotten no response from the customer, they will assign it in our system to the CS. And there's a way that you can check. We'll show y'all how to check anything that's been assigned to you. And at that point, it's off their radar. They're not doing anything else with it. It's up to us to follow up, find out what's going on, put it on the job on hold if we're not getting an answer, because if the job is left as active, it's going to keep showing up on productions reports and other reports. And if we know, if the customer says, hey, yeah, I can't approve that yet, I'm waiting for this person or that person, or we might make changes, it's better to put the job on hold. And you can do that. There's a way in ENT that you can put something on hold. You can change the status of it. All we ask is that if you do that, that you put a note on the job as to why you put it on hold. So this is the standard form that you will see for our proofs. And then sometimes there'll be an email like also with it saying, hey, I need some extra information. But she has sent that out. I don't need to do anything with it. So over here, and I know they've told you that a lot of CSs do things differently. You can set up your folders over here the way it works best for you. I have folders for all of the CSs, some of whom are not here anymore, but anyway. So I have folders over here for them. So anything that's kind of between me and that CS, I just throw it in that folder. Then I have every customer over here that I have dealt with in the 9 years I've been here, all listed here. It's a lot. Some people will just put the alphabet. They'll just put A. The folder's name is A. And any customer that starts with an A, they they file the email there. You can always search them and pull it back up. So it's kind of up to you. You can just do your bigger customers that you get a lot more communication with. Put them and then just put everyone else in a alphabetized folder, whatever. This is just what works best for me. So this is how I do it. So and then I've got some like procedures. I put emails down in here for some procedures that we do and things like that. So again, you can set them up what works best for you. Now we all have, no, that's a different place. Never mind. We're on emails right now. Y'all are both hearing me right now, right? I know you're muted, but I feel like I'm
I
speaking.
hear you.
Okay,
Yes, we
good.
hear you.
I'm not getting any feedback. I feel like I'm talking into a void. Sorry.
Mhm.
Okay, so this was for Spectrum Networks. Okay, you can mute. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I'm just going to file this under Spectrum Networks right there. Your orders that you get in that you know are reruns, exact reruns, maybe it's a release, meaning we have, for whatever reason, we have the parts here on the shelf, and there's a couple different reasons why we might. And again, we'll get into that as you're learning more about it. But if you know it's a release, the easy stuff like this, they go to Camellia Raza. She enters all that. It gets it off your desk. She's order entry. She's also invoicing, but she's been here. She's the one who's been here for forever. She knows all of the customers because she enters orders for all of CS. So she has a lot of knowledge about all of the customers pretty much. So if you, like I said, all day we are sending her orders. Now, if for some reason she opens it and she's like, huh, last time we did this, we did Rev 1, and this purchase order is calling out Rev 2. And I don't see, and that means revision. So most times you'll have a part number and then REV, Rev, and then a number or a letter or something. Those are very important. That's how we make sure we produce the correct parts, what they're looking for. If a purchase order comes in and there's no revision listed on it, and we or Camellia, we pull it up and we go, oh, we've produced several revisions and we've got a quote. We've produced revisions 1, 2, and 3, and we have a quote on 4, but we haven't produced it. So I don't know if this purchase order wants us to keep doing Rev 3 like we've done or Rev 4 that we've quoted. if you see that, if Camellia sees that, we need to kick it back. If we see it, we can kick it back to the customer and go, hey, would you mind adding the revision on here? And you can explain why, you can say, what the deal is. Camellia will kick it back to the customer service person that sent it to her, and she'll explain why. She'll tell you why she needs more information. If she gets an order and the price isn't right, she can't find a good quote that has that price on it, or they're ordering 100 parts, but they have the price for 1,000 parts on there. And this happens a lot. Then she will kick it back to you. And you just handle it, you get it fixed, and you send it back to her whenever if they send you a revised PO, you go back to the customer and you say, hey, here's your PO, here's the quote, numbers don't match. Tell me what you want to do. Put it nicer than that, but that's kind of, she will kick it back if there are any questions about it. If she gets the PO, she looks up the pricing, and she was like, we haven't quoted this for 3 years. Well, at that point, we need to get it requoted. On the MSI side, the label side, if it has been quoted from January 2023 up to now, we can still use that pricing. But anytime before 2023 on the MSI side, we have to get it requoted. On the MSD side, the die cut side, it's a 6-month time frame. So this is the 8th month. If we quoted it in February or March, it's good. If we quoted it from March on, it's good. If it was before March of this year, we need to get it requoted. Now, all of this doesn't mean a thing if the order is over $5,000. Then we need to get it requoted anyway. And if it is an outside order, and you'll see we have codes on these jobs. And once you get into order entry, you'll understand the codes. We'll explain those. When you see the code that means this is an outside order, we always want to get those requoted, because we don't have any control over our outside vendors at all. Now, Camellia can see this too. She absolutely knows all of these rules. If she sees it needs to be requoted, she'll send the quote in, and she'll send you an email saying, hey, this PO I had to send it to estimating to get it requoted. And when estimating requotes it, if the price is still good, that what's on the PO is still a good price, they'll just shoot Camellia an email that says, yeah, price is good, go ahead. If it's not good, they'll send the customer and you, copy you in, an email with the up-to-date pricing on it. And so then that's when you want to look at it and you'll go, I didn't put in a quote for this. Must have been Camellia. There's probably a purchase order attached. You can find that purchase order and follow up with the customer and say, hey, we got this purchase order. We've got new pricing for it. It doesn't match what's on your PO. You need to send me, either revise the quantity or revise the price, but this is what we need. But like I said, and this is when Camellia enters an order, she sends the customer and you a copy of the acknowledgement. And the acknowledgement is something you can pull from the job once you've entered it. This is what it looks like. So it tells the customer who we're billing to, where we're shipping it to, when they'll have it in-house, how we're shipping it. They've got our job number, their PO number. If there's an estimate, a quote, it's got that. The quantity, the price, the total, obviously. Just kind of an overview. It doesn't go into a lot of detail about the actual part. It gives a material, or in this case, it's just a copy of the part number
Uh,
again.
Sheila, sorry
Yeah.
to interrupt you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you lost me a bit. What is
Okay.
this? The order acknowledgement?
This is the order acknowledgement. When we enter an order, we always send the customer an acknowledgement. Now,
Okay.
that doesn't mean that when you get that email from the customer with a purchase order, you can answer that email and say, yeah, got it. Thanks a lot. That's not the acknowledgement. You're just telling them you got it. That's not, you're not agreeing to everything on their purchase order at that point. All you're telling them is that, hey, I got your purchase order. That's it. When the order gets entered, whether you're entering it or Camelia's entering it, we send an order acknowledgement after we've entered it. That's one of the last steps. And again, there's a button in the order entry software you can click that generates this. And it pulls all the information from the order you just entered. And so then it pulls this acknowledgement, and we will show you how to do that and how to send it to them. And it gives them this information. So there's a lot of the customers don't even look at these. They look at it enough to know, oh, okay, they've entered it, we're good. But they don't always look at the ship date. So they may have put a ship date of 2 weeks on there. Well, we can't do it in 2 weeks, and that's not the turn time we told them. So we put the order in for the turn time we've told them, and it might be 4 weeks. In 2 weeks, they make it with you and say, hey, where's my job? You find your acknowledgement, you see on the order, well, it's not due for another 2 weeks. You can pull the acknowledgement you sent and send it again and say, well, this is what I sent you. I'm sorry, there was a misunderstanding, but the quote said a turn time of 4 weeks. So this is the acknowledgement I sent. So it's a way for you to communicate that to them.
So
Some of
you
them,
send this to the customer, right?
yes, we send it to the customer after we've entered their order.
Okay.
Yes.
Mhm.
And
Okay, just a
again,
moment. I was taking notes.
oh no, that's fine. Absolutely fine. And again, once we start you guys on order entry and how to enter an order, this will all be part of it. So you kind of get a flow, and I'm sure you guys have done that in other jobs. You get a flow of how you do things. And order entry is one of those. Okay, now I click here, now I go here, now I go here. This is just part of it. This is at the end of the order. You've gotten it entered. One of the last things you do is send this order acknowledgement to the customer. So once Camellia enters it and she sends it to the customer, which in this case was FBD frozen, she copies me on it, and I just go, okay, she's got it entered, and I just file it in FBD. Then she sent me this one. This is for another customer called Nielsen Kellerman. So again, we've got where we're shipping it to, all the pertinent information about when they're going to get it. This one has a serial number on it, which you'll also hear called variable information. These particular parts, we take the parts and we put numbers on them, and they're consecutive numbers. They give us like the start number. Just say, for instance, okay, we want you to start at 1,000. So we have a program we have on our press that we can put in, okay, each one of these needs numbered. It needs to start at 1,000. We're going to produce 10,000 like on this one. So it'll go 1,000 to 9,999 or, whatever the ending number is. And this one, her acknowledgement shows what the serial number series will be, the starting number and the ending number. So again, this gives them information about their order. So they can look at it, if they read this acknowledgement, they can look at it and go, yep, that's right. They've got it, it looks good. Or they might go, oh, wait, that's not the right number. And they can come back to us before we even start producing it to say, no, that's not the right number. I don't think that hardly ever happens. Usually they put the starting number on their purchase order, and we go directly from that. But yeah, it's called a serial number. Whether I don't know if you've heard of it or not, but it's just sometimes they have other variable information. Could be a date code. You'll hear that sometimes, where last time they printed them was 2 months ago, and they wanted that date put on the parts. This time they want this date, of this month put on them. Anything that consistently changes is variable information. And when you get a quote, or if you're, let me see if I can pull this up. 808380. Okay. Let me pull this over here. Okay, so this one is a release. Let's look at the actual parts and what they look like. Okay, so this is what this part looks like. It's a very simple label. It's also very tiny. This one in particular, this view you're looking at right here is at 400% blown up. This is at normal size. So this is a super tiny little label. But they all have their own specific number on them. And these go on their units, and it's a way to identify which particular unit someone has, their customer has, that they've bought from them. So there will only be one that'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because the next little tiny label will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 or something, however they're doing it. But if you see this in a drawing that a customer sends to you, and you're wondering, and it says something about serial numbers or variable information, like if you look down here where it says model name, Kestrel redesign, serial number labels. What you need to ask that customer is, are we just producing blank labels to send to you, and you are going to print those serial numbers on them, because a lot of them have printers that they can do that, and they just print them as they need them? Or do you want us to print these serial numbers? Because it makes a difference when we're quoting it. So when you see their drawing, when you see anything about variable information, date codes, serial numbers, model numbers, it's just a question. You can just say, hey, just want to check and see, is this something you want us to print, or are you going to do it after we send them to you? And that also makes a difference, because we need to make sure, if we're just printing the blank labels, we're using a material and a printing method that allows them to put this in their printer and be able to print on it, because the wrong material won't accept ink from an inkjet printer, or it won't accept, it'll just smear off. And so we need to make sure we're using the right materials even if they are just blank labels. We need to make sure they can use them in their printer. So there'd be some more information we would need to get from them for that. Okay. So that is that acknowledgement that she sent. And pretty much all day, we are going through emails. And they might be as easy as this, where we are just glancing at it and then filing it. This is just a normal acknowledgement. No big deal. So usually when I see these emails, I don't even open them. I just file them because I know if Camelia had any questions, she would come ask me about them. This customer, let's go down here. She sent me an email asking when we can ship these 2 orders, and that's her PO and her part number, and her PO and her part number. I went and looked at the orders. I found that one of them is actually set up to ship today. So I gave her how it's going to ship and the tracking number so she can track it. And then I told her that the other one was supposed to ship on the 12th, but I also saw it was ready to go. They were just holding it for the ship date in the back. So I told her, we can ship it sooner if we need to. I told her tomorrow because she sent this to me after lunch. And ideally, we don't like to send in orders to ship the same day after 12 noon. Our department that holds this material and has the inventory, they like to have time to get things ready, and they already have a ton of stuff that they're trying to get out. So they've asked, that, okay, anytime from 8 to noon, yes, you can enter something. It'll show up on our dashboard. We'll pull it. We'll get it shipped. After 12 noon, would rather that you don't. But if we keep going up, she asked, can that one be shipped today? And NDA means next day air. So she needs this one pretty quick if she's willing to pay that next day air. So I said, yep, I'll take care of it. So I went to the order. I changed it to next day air. And I changed the ship date on it. And then I emailed that department and I told them, hey, I need to pull this one. I need to get it shipped today. So again, this was something I could take care of pretty quickly. So I did. I let them know I got it done. And now I'm waiting for the acknowledgement from that department to let me know, yeah, we're going to take care of it. I haven't gotten it yet, but oh, wait, there it is. Parts are with shipping. So they've already pulled them and they're with shipping. So probably within an hour or two, I'll be able to go to that order and get the tracking information and send it to her. So I'm going to leave this here. And I heard Johnny talking about with you guys using flags and stuff. And it's great. If it works for you, it's great. The only flags I use is to do this, to highlight them. That tells me there's something else I need to do with this email. I either need to get some information for it. I need to follow up on it. I need to find out just something. I don't do all the other colored flags, but that works for him. And if y'all find it works for you guys, absolutely use it. And you'll see down here, I've got some other things highlighted. I go through these probably every 2 days. And I follow up on all these red ones, even the ones that aren't red. Sometimes I follow up on. And I may find that it's already been solved. It's already, it's been fixed. And then I can just file that email away. So I am waiting for that. This was the last couple of years. Okay. All right. So this email, the sales rep, Rochelle, is one of our sales reps for this company called Hatco. She wanted to go out and have a seminar with this customer with 3M, who is one of our probably the biggest materials provider that we have. They use them a lot of times to go out to visit these customers. They use 3M. They'll take our rep from 3M. If they think there's a particular material that this customer uses a lot and might want more information on, they'll take an expert from 3M on that particular material and take it out. It's a good way to kind of get in with the customer, maybe with the engineers, the people that are designing things. So she sent this out. She tried to set up a time. We would bring in lunch, would have everybody there on their site and have the 3M person there. So she sent that in April. And then followed up again in June. And finally, the customer said, no, they're not really interested right now. They did it a couple years ago. So not a problem. You'll find that the emails that come to somebody, like this one went to Rochelle, and I was just copied in it. I don't say anything on these. I file it, but it's information for me to have that, okay, they didn't want to do the seminar. If I, in talking to them, in getting quotes from them, if I see that there is an issue that they're having with a certain material, with a certain project, I can always get with the sales rep and say, hey, it might be a good time now to take someone from 3M out there or get on the phone with them or something. So where'd it go? Okay. So yeah, Rochelle answered it. And again, I know they talked to y'all about how to set up your emails. Mine are in conversation mode. I just like it better. I like having them all in one place. LJ can't stand it. It gives her the creeps. I don't know why. But when I sit down in her desk and I'm trying to cover her customers, her emails make me crazy. So anyway, I'm just going to file that under that customer. Okay, this is a quality issue that we've been having, so I'm just gonna, with one of my customers, I'm gonna go past that. Okay, so I've got this purchase order from one of my customers. This is a customer that I know I can send to Camellia, so I'm gonna forward it to her, and I don't have to say anything. All I do is I just forward it to her, and then I answer the customer, and I say, received. Thank you. So now this customer knows we got the purchase order. It's not an acknowledgement. It's just me saying we got it. I sent it to Camellia. She'll take care of entering it. Or if she has any questions, she'll get back with me on it. And then I can file it under that customer's name. Okay, so okay, so this is the same customer. This is Abbott Diagnostics, one of my bigger customers. And this order that we said we shipped on the 31st, she says she's tracking it and she's not seeing anything. So I'm going to copy that tracking number. So this is what, when she puts it in on FedEx, this is what she's getting, which looks like we still have it in-house. Huh. Okay, let me see what I can find when I track it. Yep, same thing. Okay,
I'm back.
Okay. So I'm just tracking something that one of our customers is tracking, and it's not really giving good information about it. And they are like a couple towns over from us. So this isn't something that's going from state to state. So it looks like there's an issue with it. So what I'm going to do on this is I'm going to forward this to our shipping department. Constance is the head of our shipping department, so I always put her separately on it, and then we have shipping department. And I'm just going to say, can you take a look at this and see what the holdup is on the delivery? Okay, and then I'm going to reply to the customer. Okay, she put Stacy Smith on there. Stacy is the person who sends out, or her name is on our AR, our accounts receivables. She doesn't need to be tracking this or anything. I can take her off. She's not going to answer this email. This is an email that it would be for CS to work on. I'm just going to say, Vicki, I've asked my shipping department to look into this and see what is going on with your package. Ah. See, I can't type with all you guys looking at me. Okay. Okay, so this I'm also going to highlight because if I don't hear back from shipping, I'm going to need to follow up with them. So here's just some more from Camellia. So I'm just gonna.
Just a quick. I have a quick question about that.
Yeah.
How long would you wait to hear back from shipping before you reach out to them again?
Probably tomorrow morning. If this was first thing in the morning, then I would probably follow up with them at like around 3 o'clock the same day. So maybe, 4 to 6 hours. Because I know what they have to do is get with FedEx. And sometimes that's not easy to get an answer from FedEx. So I want to give them some time to do that. Since it's already 2:45-ish here, I'm going to give them some time, and probably in the morning, if I don't hear from them, then I'll follow up with them and see if they found out anything. Sometimes CSs will go ahead and call FedEx or UPS themselves. I don't. I don't know that I always have all the information they need. Shipping does. So I kind of let them do that. So, but I'm going to keep it highlighted. That way I know tomorrow morning when I come in, I need to look at this and I need to follow up if I haven't heard anything. But, for the time being, it's gone out to everybody it needs to go to. So I move on to the next thing, which is Camellia again. And she's entered another order. I gotta tell you, I love having Camellia to do all this. This is awesome. Okay, this is a purchase order from one of my customers. This particular customer has a lot of what we call blanket orders or finished goods contracts. They're the exact same thing. We let them order a larger amount, say 20,000 pieces, just pulling that off the top of my head. Well, they don't want all 20,000 at one time. They want 1,000 per month, or they want, however many per month. but they want to pay the cheaper price because it's cheaper per piece to order the larger amount. I think Johnny went through how, a price for 1,000 is one thing. Maybe it's 20 cents each, but the price for 5,000 is 10 cents each. The more you do, the lower the per piece price is. And a lot of times they want that better price, but they just can't take all of them at one time. So what we do is we offer what's called finished good contracts or blanket orders, depending on who you're talking to, which means, yes, you send us a purchase order for the big amount. We will print that entire amount and put them on our shelf. And then you will tell us when you want us to send you releases on those parts. Some customers will do it via purchase order like this one does. You'll get an official order. It tells you up here, this is their purchase order number. This is the date they're ordering it. And then they put their master contract number. That's the purchase order number for the large amount. So they are pulling from that large amount. They're keeping track of how many they've pulled. So they know when it's getting low and they need to do a new one. Yeah.
About this, I would suppose that this is for the biggest customers because of to know that they will fulfill their order in terms of paying.
Yes, it is pretty much reserved for our higher customers, our larger customers. If when y'all are handling the smaller ones, you probably will not get a lot of these.
Right.
Right, yeah, and if you feel like this customer, that you have a really good customer, and even if they're small, you're always welcome to ask if they're willing to do it for them. But most of the time, they reserve this for just the bigger customers. And there are rules about it. The large purchase order has to be over $1,000.
$1,000. Okay.
Yes.
And that would be a question for the sales meeting in the early morning.
Yes, that would be an 8:30 meeting. Yes. And I even have some kind of middling customers that I'm not sure if we'll do it for, so I have to ask them. Now, in this particular case, we always we don't like to ship any order, whether it's a release or a regular order or anything, for under $100 in value, because we've got all these people that have to put time into it. This particular release is only $90, but this is a large customer and they've been our customer for over 15 years. Very few of their releases are like this. They're usually well over the $100 limit. This particular one, it's not. They let it go. But
so they have
yeah,
leeway because of their long-standing relation with the company.
absolutely. That's absolutely it. But again, you have to get it approved. I got this approved way before when they first started doing this particular part. So we got it approved. We know that this one's okay. And the releases are the kind of thing that Camellia does all day long. So I'm going to, and a lot of times if she sees that, hey, they're asking for 1,000, we only have 500 left on this blanket. Again, she kicks it back to us. So if there's ever any question, she will kick it back to us and let us know. So sending that to her, telling them I received it, and then going to the next thing. And you'll find yourself doing this all day long. Doing like, okay, send it on. Now I'm moving on. This is the same customer. This is for our MS die cut plant. You can see that right there. We have customers who issue purchase orders and it just says 2 marking systems, but it could be either for a label or a die cut. In their system, it's the same. Our company's the same. Other customers have a setup for 2 separate companies. So if they want something shipped that's a die cut or a foam part, you will get one, you'll get a release or a PO that says MS die cut. If it's a label, you'll get one that says marking systems or MSI. They all get entered into the same system. We used to be separate. Several years ago, we combined everything. So for you to enter this, as you learn how to enter them, you'll see the difference, but they all go into the same system. But for the customer, when they get the invoice for this, it better say the invoice came from MS Die Cut, or else it won't go through their accounting department. So we're all aware of this. We all know how to enter them. You'll be shown. It's not a big deal at all. I just wanted to let you know, you might see 2 different vendors listed on there. It could be MSI and it could be MS Die Cut. So again, this is a release. So I'm just going to send it. Yeah.
I keep hearing about 2 companies, but I remember that there are 3, and the third one would be TTY. Does that ever come into the day-to-day?
No.
Okay.
TTY, we don't do any work for them. We don't do any customer service for them. They have their own customer service team. It really is a whole other animal what they do. It's now we definitely, if a customer says, hey, don't y'all have a t-shirt company? Yeah, we do. Let me get you some, let me refer you to someone. Let me find out who you need to talk to for this. And then we let them handle it. But yeah.
It was just a quick question that I had.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I had the same thing when I came in, because when I started working here, all 3 companies were under the same roof, and each company had a separate customer service team, separate invoicing. I mean, everything was separate, but we were still here under the same roof. So now we've absorbed the die cut. So we're now all, we handle their die cut, but TTY found a larger building. They moved their equipment out. They are still part of our family of companies, but they're really a whole other animal. It's a really weird. They do some really cool stuff, but we have no idea how it all works, and we have no idea how to price it. But absolutely, if someone says, "Hey, I need some t-shirts," we can get them someone to call about for it. So yeah, we just concentrate on these 2 companies. Did I send that to people? I did not send that to people. Okay. So send it to Camelia. Okay. Something that we really, and I think I said this before when I talked to y'all, we really pride ourselves here in our customer service of responding to the customer, of customers saying, wow, even if y'all aren't telling me good news, you're giving it to me so much ahead of time. So it's something to keep in the front of your head of, I need to respond to them, whether it's I'm checking on it, I've received it, yes, we can do that, no, we can't do that, or I'll let you know. Just something to let them know they've been heard and we're working on it. We're real, LJ and I are kind of sticklers for that. So I'm going to file this.
Okay, and as far as that, the SLA would be under 1 hour, correct?
Ideally, yes.
Ideally, okay.
Now, if you're in a meeting or you're at lunch, whatever. This is why I tell you, even if I'm entering orders, I'm keeping an eye on the emails so that I can say, hey, yeah, we'll take care of that. Or, um, I'm checking on it for you, that kind of thing. To let them know as soon as possible, yep, I see your email, I'm checking on it. It just makes them feel better. It lets them know someone saw it, they're working on it. They don't know that maybe I'm not working on it right this minute. Maybe I'm finishing what I'm doing. Maybe I printed it out and I've got it on my desk because I don't want to forget about it. And after 5 o'clock, when it's quiet, I'll look into this. It might be something I need to research a little bit, but they know I got it. Because, even when we're all out having to deal with customer service people, we like to know we've been heard, or somebody's working on this. So that's kind of our thought process on this, is just let them know you're working on it. If you can't do it right that minute, it's fine. Just make sure you go back to it and you're checking on it. And if you, even like the next day, if I don't have an answer, you can go back to the email and say, hey, so sorry, I'm waiting for this information, or, I've sent this to my team and they're checking on it, or they're trying to find out when material's coming in. Just give them a little update. Um, it's just, it's surprising how happy that makes them of, oh, okay, so you didn't forget about me, that kind of thing. So we have found that when we send out surveys to our customers, and every couple years we'll send a survey to our customers, how we doing, what can we do better, blah blah blah. I'd say 9 times out of 10, we get comments of so responsive. This CS is so responsive. This one, you know, is always lets me know ahead of time things. You know, we may do some other things not so well. Maybe we didn't ship everything when they wanted us to, but we let them know. So it's something that it's not that hard, but it does make a difference. Okay, this is for a project that I'm working on for a customer. And again, I'm not the one this is going to. This is going to Razvan Dotku, our R&D director, and I'm copied in it. So this is letting me know what's going on, what the next step is that's happening in this project, and I don't need to respond or do anything with it. So I'm going to file this. And I can always do a search and pull it up if I need to. Okay. Some of our customers send out reports. Like every week you'll get a report. They want to know the status of any open orders, anything that hasn't shipped yet. Most of them these reports get sent to Camellia, and she fills them out and she sends them back to you. This particular one, she made a correction on it and then she sent it back to me. So I'm going to forward this to my customer, this is the email that I got it from. And I'm going to pop it out, which y'all probably can't see now. And I'm going to take her version and attach it. And most of these come from kind of an automatic system. Some do, some don't. Usually on these, I just put thank you and send it off. So now we've sent their reports back to them. The more customers you have, the more stuff like this you'll get. And with y'all having the small customers, there may only be 1 or 2 orders on them, and it may only take you a minute or 2. If you have time, you're welcome to do it yourself. If you don't have time, you can send it to Camellia and she can do it. And then she'll send it back to you. Okay, so there's where Finished Goods told me that the parts that I wanted them to ship today that are in shipping. So I'm going to file that. Okay, so this customer is telling me that he's not going to be my buyer anymore, which is fine. He wasn't that good at it anyway. He wasn't. Okay, so he's telling me who it's going to be, and which is fine, which is good. Now, if he was telling me that it was someone new and gave me their information, then I can go into the ENT main screen for customers. I can pull up their account. I can go to their account. I can look at contacts. This is all the people that we have listed that we've dealt with there that have had something to do with it. And the guy that they called out is that one right there. So I'm just going to make sure that the information still matches for him. MSAsafety.com. Yep. Okay. So that's all good. But if I needed to, I could add someone new here. I can put in all their information here. If some of their information had changed, say Brendan's had changed, I can modify it. I can go in here and change it, whatever I need to do. They kind of want us to keep these accounts as up to date as we can, because a lot of times, especially if you have like an engineer, a purchasing person, the sales reps will go in here and look at some of the names and go, I think I'm going to call this engineer and see if he needs anything or whatever. Also, if someone leaves, we can go in here and modify them to show that they're you'd click inactive, meaning they're not there anymore. So this is something that we monitor, that we, and the sales reps can add people too. So this particular company has a lot of locations. So you'll see these are all around Pennsylvania, in different towns, and then they have one in Mexico. And one in Indiana, obviously. So you can add that in. And if you see any changes, if they say, hey, we changed our address, you can go in and change that. If something has changed about their invoicing, where they want their invoices to go, that's something you need to send to our accounting department. But if it's just information about a person, a contact, you can in fact, they really want you to put that in there. So I'll answer him in a little while and let him know that I got it. This is this is another report that Camellia filled out for me, and she put a note on here saying that one of the orders is late. So I'm going to look into this. So August 1st was the ship date, and we haven't shipped it yet. And then there's a purchase order that isn't in our system. So this is all helpful information to have. So I will go in and I'll look at this. It could be that we're holding a purchase order. Maybe oh no, I know what that is. Yeah, I'm holding this because I need more information for it before I enter it. this one that the PO isn't in our system. This one, I'm not sure why this hasn't shipped yet. So I'll find that out and I can either add it to it or I can see what the deal is here and then correct it on here. So I'm not going to send that back just yet. Okay, so again, this is about that seminar that they decided they didn't want to do, and it's just some back and forth with the customer and the sales rep. So out of that, this is another report that Camelia did for another customer. Come on. Okay, so this is, and as you can see, all these reports have different forms to them. So she's confirmed all of these and one of them has shipped. They also include a forecast in case we ever want to look and see. A forecast will come in handy if they send it to you. I have 2 customers who send me forecasts every week. This is one of them. If we're producing a part for them and we look at their forecast and we see that, okay, for this particular part, like this one, this is all the same part. Look at, we could produce more than they're ordering right now because we can see that they're going to need them. They're going to be ordering them. And a lot of times it's cheaper for us to go ahead and produce those parts. And we don't tell the customer that we're doing extra, but it's easier for us. We get it all done at one time. And then when they order them, we already have them on the shelf. So it's called extra stock. Again, we take that risk of going ahead and producing them based on a forecast. But 6 months from now, they may say, hey, we redesigned this part. And then we have to go, oh, well, now we have these parts here that are worthless, but we took the chance. Most of the time it pays off. Most of the, if this particular customer, they don't change a lot. So it's safe when we can do that for them. And also sometimes we know that we all have customers who wait till the last minute to order for whatever reason, or they just don't have a good tracking system. And so all of a sudden, the people on their floor will come to them and go, "Oh, we're out of parts. We just used open the last bag of parts or something, and we're going to need them next week." Sometimes we can save them if we have produced extra stock. We don't always tell them it's extra stock. Sometimes we say, well, we have some overruns from the last order. We can ship you those. Sometimes we tell them, well, we'll expedite this for you, but there might be a charge for it. It just depends on the customer. Our biggest customers, most of them know there might be some extras. And if they ask, they can get those extras. We still charge them the same amount we would for whatever quantity they're getting, but we can ship them next day. And a lot of times that has, I'd say a ton of times, it has helped out our customers. So, and I think they appreciate it. So a lot of times I'll have customers emailing me saying, hey, do you have overruns on this? And if I do, I'll tell them, yeah, I've got 10, I've got 20, I've got 100. What do you need?
Sheila, sorry
yeah.
to interrupt you.
Yeah.
What is an overrun?
Overruns is if we've just run more than we need for an order. If they ordered 100 and for whatever reason, sometimes it's how the parts are laid out on the sheet. Maybe it's easier to run a sheet of 20 parts, but they only needed 10. But it was just easier for us to do a sheet of 20. Well, now we have an extra 10. they're decent, they're good parts. What if they need 10 again in another month? We put it in our extra stock or overruns. We hang on to them. They don't know we have them. We don't charge them for them when we do it. But later, a month from now, when they say, oh my gosh, we ran out of parts, how fast can we get some? You can say, well, I've got these 10 in overruns. Do you need, would that help? Oh, that'll help me. Okay, send me a purchase order. I'll send you these 10 kind of things. So overruns are just anything extra that we have left from an order that we couldn't ship on that order.
So we always do that?
We don't always do it, but sometimes it just happens.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I had a question about what the decision making would be for deciding to do extra stock for a customer, and who would be involved in that decision?
It depends. If you don't know the customer very well, you can ask our supervisor, Zach Van Bieber, and he can give you an idea if you should or not. If it's like I've had my customers for several years, if they don't send me a forecast, like this is a forecast, you can see that, like these that I've highlighted, they're going to want more of these throughout 2026. They'll be ordering 1,600 pieces, like pretty much every month. But for some reason, they don't want to do a blanket order or a contract order. Well, if we have to set up and run 1,600 pieces of these every month, we lose money. I mean, every time you have to set up the press, you lose money. And we have to order the material in, and we have, do all this for just 1,600 pieces. We'd rather go ahead and do a 6-month supply. A lot of times the difference between producing 1,600 and 6,000 is 20 minutes of runtime. So it just makes some sense to go ahead. We see on their forecast, it makes sense. They're gonna use them. So we go ahead and do it. There's a number of variables that can go into it, and being new, you guys probably would not be able to make that decision. But absolutely, again, something to bring up at the 8:30 meeting. Just say, hey, and a lot of times you can look at their history. If you pull up the history of that part in our order, let's see, let me look at this part number. Okay, so I'm going to go to all jobs. I'm going to put that part number in. Okay, so you can see they've been ordering this part since 2021, at least. They haven't made any change. It's always been Rev C. Well, there was Rev B, then they changed to Rev C. So, and they've ordered, 20,000, then, and you'll see all these different shipments for it. So if you look at their history, you'll go, you know what, we need to do extra of these. That's a factor in it. If it's a new customer, you can ask what their EAU is, which is their annual usage, their estimated annual usage, which means how many do you think you're going to use in a year? And then you can base it on that also. Sometimes they'll give it to you when they ask for the quote, sometimes they won't. But sometimes if you go back to them and they say, well, we just want 50 right now, and then they look at the price and they go, that's really high. You can say, well, what's your annual usage? What are you forecasting this at? Well, we think we're going to use 500 in 6 months. Okay, let me give you a price on 500. And yes, you might have to order the whole 500. Oh, we can't do that. Well, okay. But then you have that information, and it's something you can work with, and it's something you can take to Zach and them and say, hey, what can we do? Do we want to, or they want to order 500. Maybe we should do 1,000 because it sounds like they're going to use them within the year. Would it make financial sense for us to do that? And Zach, being in estimating, he has a good idea of material costs and the cost to produce these. And again, like I said, sometimes the difference between 50 and 500 or 1,000 is 10 or 20 minutes on the press. And so it's not that big of a deal. But again, you can see how, some of these are these extra stock shipments. These are ones that we produced that we didn't tell them we already had produced. Anytime you see extra stock, that's where we either had overruns or we purposely ran more parts. So again, it's just something to think about. So where did that forecast go? Yep, there we go. Okay. Okay, again, this is another project we were working on with a customer. They're keeping me updated on it, which is great, but I don't have to answer any of this. So, okay, I've read it, I know what we're going to do, and now I'm going to file it. Okay, so y'all might have gotten this. No, they're not listed in the customer service email. Oh, y'all didn't get this, but she's going to put you in the customer service email. She's trying to see LJ's trying to see if we can access the recording of what you did with Johnny this morning. So we're going to skip over that. We got another one, acknowledgement from Camellia. So again, we'll just file it. And again, you can kind of see my folders, how maybe just doing A, B, C, and D would take less time me finding it. I just like it better this way. So, okay. Okay, this particular one, we've had an order in-house for this company, Transducer Works, for about 2 months now, and it's for a material that's hard to get and takes a long time to come in. We're not expecting our initial order of the material to come in till the end of this month, and they will be out of parts by then. So Zach asked Razvan Bedoyu, we have 2 Razvans here. So Razvan Bedoyu starts with a B. He's our materials manager. So he had asked Razvan to go looking to see if any of our material vendors had this material, but maybe in a different size, not the size we initially ordered it in, but any what they call offcuts. Maybe they slit the material to a certain size for another customer, and they have this weird size left, a roll of the material in a kind of a weird size. A lot of times we can adjust our planning to accommodate those sizes if we have to get these parts out to the customer faster. So a lot of times if you're asking, hey, when are we going to get this material in, and they give you some far out date, it's possible to ask, can you find it in any other size? Is it possible to run this on any other size? They just need, a small amount. Can we possibly find it somewhere else? And you are more than welcome to ask that. Always. It's you're fighting for your customer. You're trying to make sure that the customer has the parts they need when they need them. So, so I asked, we found some. It's going to cost a little extra to get it, and revise how we run the parts. So we're charging the customer extra and they're going to pay it because they need these parts. So I was asking Rosvon, when will that material come in? And he's saying it'll be here on Friday. So I'll make a note of that on the order. I do keep a folder of jobs that I'm watching, because the customer has said this is dire, I need it by a certain time, or I know maybe there's a lot of processes that go into it, and you don't want it to just sit somewhere. Like maybe it got printed, but it's just sitting and finishing because they haven't noticed it has all these processes. So I watch it and I look and see, okay, no one's worked on this in a while. We need to get it moving, and because it's going to take another 2 weeks to get it all done and stuff like that. So this is one that I have in my folder to watch. And so I'll make a note on that we should have the material here by Friday. And I'll also tell the customer because he agreed to it. So I'll say, okay, we're going to get this material in on Friday, which means next week we'll be able to start producing some of your parts with it, because I want to give him a heads up and let him know what to expect. Then we go to this one. All right, she's doing all kinds of weird stuff here. Oh, I know what she's doing. You are going to have some customers who make things much more complicated than they should be. This is one of those customers. They always send us a purchase order for us to do the FAI parts, which we talked about FAIs yesterday. And we send them the FAIs. Now, at the same time, we produce the production parts also. But they won't let us ship the production parts against the same purchase order. Once they've approved the FAIs, they have to then cancel the production parts off that purchase order and issue a new purchase order for the production parts. And it is a pain. It is, like I said, this is Abbott Diagnostics. They're a huge multi-million-dollar customer, company. They just have some of the most frustrating policies and procedures. And believe me, the guy who had this, when he left, I begged him not to give me this account and he did it anyway. So this is one of the things that you just have to just say, okay, got it. We'll get it going for you. And just shake your head and go, why are y'all making this so difficult? But it is what it is. So I'm just going to tell her, receive. I'll get this taken care of. And I will. I'll get it taken care of. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to print this out. LJ and I like to print stuff. Other people don't have to do that. So it is totally up to you. We like to print things. We're old school. So a lot of times we will just print things to make sure we don't forget what we're doing. Okay. Now on another note, I don't know when you were talking to Johnny, did he talk about having to sign and date the purchase orders when you get them in? He did.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Did he explain why we do that?
Because that would be the acceptance of the contract?
It is. Absolutely. It's the acceptance of the contract. Have y'all heard of ISO?
Yes, yes, the
Okay.
certification.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Oh,
I,
this is the ISOs. Yeah, I heard.
yes, yes, exactly. And what it is, it's kind of a quality program. Um, you have to do things a certain way to get your ISO certification. Um, and all these things that they want you to do are basically guaranteeing to your customers that you have quality measures in place. One of the things that they require is that whoever accepts the purchase order, supposedly we've read through the whole thing, we've read all their terms and conditions, and we accept them all. So if we sign and date it, that means we accept the whole thing. Um, and initially, when you have a new customer, you do want to look at everything on their purchase order. You want to make sure you understand everything on it. After you do, and 9 times out of 10, there's nothing unusual. They're a lot of the same things. You can just sign and date and accept that, yeah, this is stuff we do every day. So again, I pretty much always print my purchase orders because I like to put notes on them. Yeah.
Would that be the place where they, for example, state that, I don't know, that they want to receive every item order in a different box and labeled, or what sort
Um,
of things would be
well,
expecting to read in the terms?
in this one, just for example, they will say that they're tracking the delivery. The tolerance for on time is 5 days early and 0 days late. Um, and partials are not acceptable. So you can't just ship some
Okay.
unless it says, unless requested and confirmed by Abbott with an updated purchase order. So say, for example, out of these 500, I can't get the material to do all 500. So I call the customer and I say, hey, I have material right now to do 100 of these. And then in another 3 weeks, I'll have the material to do the other 400. Do you want that 100 now? And then we'll do the other 400. She would say yes, but then she would have to send me a purchase order that has a
If a
line
multi
item for
cancel.
100. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So yeah, a lot of this is about shipping them late, shipping them early. Sometimes it will give you how they want it shipped and their account number. So right here, it just says FedEx Ground, collect. It doesn't give me their account number. I already have it. It's in their thing. But if you don't ship it that way, if I shipped it UPS and we tried to bill them for UPS, they're going to come back and go, we told you to ship it FedEx
Right.
and you didn't say anything. So that's on me. And we would have to eat that. Um, so yeah, now you will get some that it's 1 page is the purchase order and the next 15 pages are terms and conditions.
Wow.
Just don't even. Just, make sure you have the information you need to do the job, to enter the job. A lot of the other 15 pages are legal stuff that don't have anything to do really with what we're doing. Um, when you have a new customer and you do get their terms and conditions, we send those to our quality department. It's their job to review through them and see if there's anything weird in them. But and then they will file them and hold on to them. But in this case, this customer they just do this, it's mostly stuff I need for the order. So, but then I'm also going to save it. And I know they told y'all how to save them. But again, this is an ISO thing. They all have to be saved the same way because of ISO. It's a requirement. If they want everything done the same as much as possible.
Right.
And which is a good idea, because if we're all saving purchase orders the same way, it's just easier to find things.
And it also guarantees that nothing ever gets lost in the
Absolutely.
communication.
Yes, absolutely. So I've saved it. I've signed it. I've printed it out. So I will take care of this. And again, I've already told her I'll take care of it, so I can file this now because I've printed the purchase order. That's one reason why I print, because I get rid of the email. I have it in my hand. I'm going to remember it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to be able to write notes on it. And I usually hang on to the printed purchase orders for a month. After that, I'll chunk them and throw them away. I know it's not environmentally friendly, but it is what it is right now. Okay, so this is more about that material, which is fine. This is this project again. So, which as a CS, you want to know how your projects are going. But you don't always have to comment on anything. It's good to look over things, because at some point they may come to you and go, oh, hey, I need you to write up a quote on that last email, the information. And if you're kind of up to date with it, that's fine. If not, you need to look at it and go, okay, let me review this again and see if I understand. This one, okay. This is a job that basically was an outside order. All we're doing is ordering a special label, cut a special way, set up a special way to run on a certain printer. So we're not doing that here. We job that out to someone to do. They wanted us to do an art proof. Now, our customer doesn't need to see this art proof at all. But that company won't run them unless we approve it. So Kay, the woman that's in charge of our outside purchasing, she sent it to our quality department and they approved it. So they'll look at what the customer asked for, what the vendor provided, and they'll say if it matches and if it's good to go. So they just sent this back to Kay, so she'll send it to the vendor, and they'll continue with the job. So again, gonna file that. And there's Camellia, who's entered another order. So I'm going to file this. Okay, so basically I am caught up on these. There's a few things I need to do, but I'll do those later. Throughout the day, I will go into my Teams, and it looks like I have some activities. So I missed a call from I don't know where I was when I missed that call, but I guess I missed it. So I will call them back, and then got a message from shipping. Okay, so shipping is telling me they need a commercial invoice, and they don't see it attached to the order. So I'm going to look that up. What's that job number? Five 92123. 2123. Okay, where is it shipping to? Okay, I've got a note in there right there that says that I attached it. But why is it not showing? No, it sure as heck is not showing. Let's see. Nope, there it is. That's the commercial invoice. Because it says right there, commercial invoice. Okay, so I'm going to print it. Our shipping department, for some reason, does not have a printer. So if there's something that needs printed, they usually come up here and have us do it. So I'm going to tell her that it was attached. Oh, it is attached. I've printed it out up here so they can come get that. Okay, and then, okay, that's from her. And then this is y'all shadowing me. Okay, then I also, on some of your customers, they will have portals. Like I said, there's some that send in reports. They want to know the status of their orders and they send reports to you. Others have portals. And you have to update those portals when you enter an order, when you ship an order, if you need to change the pricing. This particular customer here, all their orders are closed. We've already shipped all their orders. This particular customer, these are parts that we keep in stock here for them. And I have to let them know our current on hand. I update this at least twice a week. These are orders that we have in process to refill our inventory. I have to go through these portals every day and see if I need to update anything on them. This one is for Cirrus. And most of the time you have to log in to get the most updated in case they've made any changes. And if you have any customers, they'll get you into their portal. They'll tell you how to get on, and then you'll need to save it like I have so that you can get back on anytime you need to get in. This customer, their next shipment should be, they want to receive it on 8/18. So probably in the next week or so, we'll ship it. And then I have to put the shipping information in right here. They'll want to know what day we shipped it, how we shipped it, and what the tracking number is. So again, I have to check this. And if they want to pull in and receive it sooner, they'll change that delivery date there. This is why you have to keep up on all your portals. This is another one. These are all open orders that they have with us. These are the dates that we've committed to. If I've shipped anything, I put like here, shipped FAI samples and the tracking, and then put pending FAI approval. They haven't approved them yet. On this one, they want us to push out the ship date on this one to next April. They ordered it in February of this year. We can't push out anything past a year from when they entered the order. So I've got a note here, can't push out the ship date. So they see these in real time. I see them in real time. Some of them send me notices if changes are made. Some of them don't. It just depends on the portal that the customer's using. This one, again, I have to log into it every time and get to my place. And then here again, If we ship something, I have to tell them, okay, this is the day it shipped, this is the tracking number. They tell me if they've pushed out any of the ship dates. Like this is the previous ship date. They pushed this one out from the 14th to the 20th. I tell them this one's ready to ship. So they know. But it's just a way to stay in contact and for them to stay on top of their orders and for me to stay on top of them. This is my biggest customer. This is National Instruments. They send me orders through their portal. I print the orders from here, I enter them, and then I come in and I acknowledge them. Like this one. Yeah, it's going to ask me to log in again. And these are nice to have because if you're checking them and this is how they enter their orders, you're not going to miss an order. Like it's not going to come in through email and for some reason the email gets missed or accidentally deleted or something. If you're going on these portals daily, every other day, however much you think you need to, you're not going to miss a purchase order, which it's nice in that way. It is a little extra work, but again, it is what it is. And we've found a lot more customers going to this whole portal idea. I think they're trying to get away from being in constant contact with companies like us, like constantly emailing us, constantly being on the phone with us. They think if they can do it all through the portal, it'll save them some time. I don't know if that's working or not, but just say this one right here. Come on. You have to have the magic click for this to work. Okay, so this particular one only had one item on it. So I went in, I entered the order, and I changed the price. They sent it at $61.95 per piece. I changed it to $64.98 per piece because that was our current pricing for it. They told me they need it by January of next year. That's not a problem, so I didn't change. If I had changed it, I would have put a new date here on the promise date. They wanted a reason why I changed it, and I just I corrected the pricing. And then over here, it had asked me, are you making a change or are you accepting it? I told them I'm making a change. So what that does is it kicks it back to the buyer. They go into the portal and they see pending buyer approval. That means they now have to look at it and approve those changes I just made. They will either approve them or they'll get back with me and say, what's going on with this price? If they approve it, it comes back to me again. It's a whole lot of back and forth, which takes a little extra time. But like I said, it is what it is. So I go through these portals at least all of them at least once a day. Sometimes more if they seem really busy. This particular one, National Instruments, I might pull 4 purchase orders from them in the morning, and then in the afternoon they've added 2 more. So, but I know that. Whereas I know this customer, we haven't done anything with them for probably 6 months. So I look at it once a day. Yeah, there's nothing on there. This one, like I said, I update it probably twice a week because we're constantly getting releases on these from them. So I like to keep it updated. But this is kind of what I do throughout the day. Any questions about anything else that we've talked about or
A
not talked
lot.
about?
You just went way too fast, but I got a lot of information.
It's okay. I was just trying to give y'all an idea of how the day goes.
It
Yeah,
was super
I
helpful.
you
Thank
got it.
you.
Yes.
So yeah, just take a deep breath and start moving.
Yeah.
That's kind of it. But you'll get used to it, and I hear everybody telling y'all, you'll do it the way that works best for you, and that really is true. You'll find the way that works best for you guys. Um, if anything that we do helps you and gives you ideas, great. Um, but everybody works a different way, and we know that. It's just like Johnny that you talked to this morning. He doesn't even print even a quarter of what I print. He doesn't need it. The way he works, he doesn't have to have things printed as much. Um, LJ and I like paper. We like to have things in our hands. Um,
Mhm.
and you'll when you sit with Veronica or Jennifer and all these others, you'll you'll see kind of what they do. Um,
Right.
and so and every day is different. You never know what an email is going to be asking you for. So you may have one day where you're just going, okay, it's orders, it's orders, it's quotes, it's quotes. And then the next day it's, oh my gosh, everybody wants everything pulled in to ship early, or there's all these reports, or there's all these this or that. I mean, it's always different. So you're going to come in the morning saying, okay, I'm going to get these 10 things done today. And at the end of that day, you're going, I didn't look at a single one of those today. So,
Yes, I saw that with Johnny and with you, Sheila, there was a lot of different tasks.
mhm,
Like he didn't went into the customer portals, and
yeah,
maybe it wasn't necessary for him right now, but I can see what you meant.
yeah, yeah. And a lot of times it depends on the customers you have. They all do things a different way. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think I have the most customers that have those blanket orders. Um, because there's some of I don't think Veronica has hardly any blanket orders, because part of my week is also I follow up on those blankets orders to see, are they getting low? I can pull reports to see if they're getting low or if they're getting close to when they're supposed to expire, which is after a year. The customer's supposed to take all the parts after a year. It's part of an agreement. Um, but like I said, some of the other CSs don't have hardly any blanket orders, um, and don't do some of the same things that I do. You guys having smaller accounts probably will not have, if any, blanket orders. You might have portals depending on how the customer works. You might just a customer may just send you an email saying, okay, I want to order 100 of these, use purchase order 123. Or you have customers who send you the big official purchase order. So they're all different. It's part of, for me, it's one reason why I like the job. And there's days that I hate the job, but it's always different. So um, it, there can be really frustrating days. There can be really great days. But those days when they all want things shipped tomorrow, those are very frustrating days. But um, it's, yeah, there's a lot. There is a lot. Um, but just know you're probably, there's no way we can teach all of it to you. You'll just learn it as you go. We can teach you the software. We can teach you where to find things. But some
That's I'm sorry. Yes, that's what
yeah,
I'm thinking. Like it's impossible for me to follow like an exact procedure because everything
yeah.
is different. It just got to me right now.
Oh no, and I understand, but just You also have to tell yourself this isn't the end of the world. That buyer is freaking out because she thinks she thought a part was supposed to be there on a certain day. Um, and people are yelling at her because it's not there. And for whatever reason, it's not always our fault. Sometimes it is our fault. Um, so yes, you're dealing with someone who's very frustrated and they're taking it out on you and you're just trying to help them through it. You're just but at the end of the day, no one died, an airplane didn't fall to the ground. Things it's you just have to tell yourself, I got someone on a bad day. Or everybody seems to need their parts, shipped next day or whatever. And you do what you can. Your team is telling you we don't have the material. So you just have to tell the customer, I'm really sorry. We're going to have to hold our original ship date because we don't have the material and we're trying to find it. It's not like we're just sitting here saying, nope, nope, nope. We're trying to help you. We're trying to find it, but it's there's just nothing you can do. Um, but they also learn that when you can do something, you do, and then you might make somebody's day. So it's just working with customers, and it's unpredictable. But as you go through the different situations, you learn from every one of them. And so the next time something like that comes up, you kind of know how to deal with it. Um, and just so you know, you're going to miss a purchase order. It's going to happen. Just, you can
Oh,
put all the safeguards in that you want. I still miss some. LJ still misses some. We don't know how. It just happens. You just say, hey guys, I missed this. Now would they need them in a week? What can y'all do to help me? You bring it up at the 8:30. We all do it. We just admit it. We messed up. We missed it. We don't know how. Something was in the air that day. Who knows? It happens. Just accept that nobody's going to be mad at you. Nobody is going to yell at you. It happens. We've all done it. You're going to put in a wrong quantity. You're going to ship them 100 when they wanted 1,000. It happens. It all depends on how you deal with it after it's found out. If you're going, oh my God, I'm so sorry. That's on me. I did that. Let me see what I can do to get you those parts. That's what makes the difference. Um, and 9 times out of 10, the customer will go, you know what? I'll use this 100. It'll get me started. See what you can do for me. And they're fine. Um, I'm just telling you, it's going to happen. We don't want you to get yelled at. And on the whole, the majority of our customers will not yell at you. They are very nice. They're very professional. Um, on the off chance you catch one on a bad day, you can either, like LJ said the other day, you can transfer them to us or you can just let them vent and then say, okay, here's what we can do. Or let me get with my team or I will take this to top management. I will see what we can do. It's it all just depends on then how you deal with it after that. Um, but just know nobody here is going to get upset if you do something wrong. We're just gonna say, okay, what'd you learn? You know, how are you going to keep this from happening again? Cool. All right, moving on. Let's move on. It's like that from the top down, from the owners down. They all say that. Okay, how are you going to keep it from happening? You got a plan in place? Great. Let's move on. Um, it's like that. And that's one reason why I really like this company. I've been at companies where it's not like that. Um, and this is not that place. We want you to admit you did something wrong, because we all do. Every one of us, we all do it. It's just, if you admit it, then you've realized you did something wrong and you know how to fix it. You can figure out how to fix it. If you don't admit you did it wrong, that just means you're going to keep doing it wrong over and over again. So we're all good. You do something wrong, we expect it. I expect LJ to do something wrong. She expects me to do something wrong. It's fine. I think Jennifer earlier today figured out she missed something on a purchase order. Okay. Yeah, just fix it. Just do whatever you can to make it right. Um, that's the attitude you're going to get from us is, what can we do to help you? How can we help you? Because we're here in the plant. You guys aren't. If you need us to help you with something, if you need some information and you're not getting it, and it's not 8:30 in the morning, but you need something. Yeah, we all work as a team. We cover each other's desks. We help get information if you need it. You may not know who to go to. I do. LJ knows. We know. Ask us. We're more than willing to help you out. We just figure if the customers are happy, that means we still have a job, and we're very excited to have a job. So that's kind of where we're coming from. The better the company looks, the better we have a job. So anything else you want to talk about or address, or?
Not from my end.
Okay.
Me there, but thank you very much. This has been very, very useful, and thank you very much as well for these last words.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
great tips.
yeah, I've been at a company. In fact, LJ and I both worked at the same company where, oh my gosh, if you mess something up, it was horrific. And we swore when we came here we were not going to make it like that. And the owners are all on board with it. So we've been really happy here. Not every day, but most days we're happy here. So um, okay, I guess that's it for me. LJ, what do you want to do? Do you want to? Okay, so we can just jump off. Okay, guys.
Okay.
Well, if you need me for anything, just like Johnny said, contact me, email me, do it through Teams, whatever. Anytime you have anything, just let me know.
Thank you
Thank you
so
very
much,
much,
Sheila.
Sheila.
All right. Y'all have a great day.
You too.
Same. Bye
Goodbye.
bye.
Bye.